everyone, my name is Millie and welcome to The Performing Arts and Me. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some videos on my first term of my second year at London Studio Centre. If you didn't know already, I'm currently training at London Studio Centre on their Theatre Dance degree course. I'm on the musical theatre pathway, and on this channel I make videos about the performing arts, my general life experiences and things like that. If you're interested in those things, I'd really appreciate you subscribing. I would love to get to 150 subscribers before the end of the year, so I'd really appreciate that. But now let's get started on the video. Okay, so I'm going to start by just giving a couple of overall reflections. So overall, I have been really loving second year so far, and it was really nice to come back at the start of the year and be coming back to like the same place. I'm in the same flat, I'm going to the same school, because I've moved twice in the past 2 years, because I moved for my foundation year, which was at Bird College if you didn't know that already, and then I moved here for London Studio Centre. Moving and like meeting new people and stuff, like, although it's exciting, it can also be a little bit stressful, and I didn't realise how nice it was to come back to the same place until I came back this year and I was like, wow, this is so nice. It was just nice to come and already feel more settled. So that was really good. So differences that I've noticed between first and second year. In our second year, we have more classes that are more specialised to our pathway. So I'm on the MT pathway, musical theatre. So I have more singing lessons this year, for example, than I think I did last year. Another thing I've noticed is that classes are generally more about applying your technique that you've learned in your first year. It's more about application than about learning technique. We are still learning technique things, but a lot more of what we're focusing on is applying the technique to sequences, dances, and I feel like I've noticed that the dance sequences that we're learning are longer than they were last year, and it's less like technical exercises and more longer sequences. And I think with singing too, there's more of a focus on bringing the disciplines of singing and acting together. So we have like acting through song this term, and also like more about can you pick the appropriate technique for the song rather than just can you do the technique or a particular quality of singing. Like, can you pick the correct quality of singing for the song that you're singing? My other main reflection from this term is just how much more confident I am, both in college but also like as a person in general. I don't know if it's linked to me feeling more settled, but like in classes, at work, in social situations, I just feel so different from how I felt last year. My behaviour itself might not actually be that much different, I don't know, but I feel more confident in myself, which is really lovely, and I'm really pleased about that. And that's something I definitely want to keep because I just feel so much better and I think more present as well. But yeah, I'm just really happy about feeling more confident in myself. Okay, I'm now going to read off a list of the subjects that we have had this term so far, and then I'm going to go into a bit of detail about some of the reflections I have from those. So we had 2 lectures and 2 seminars each week. Then I also had ballet, tap, contemporary, jazz, sing, tech and rep, which was one class, ATS, scene study, voice and text, private singing, dance for MT, harmony, and then my option subjects that I picked, we could pick 2 options this year for this term that we've just had. So I did hip hop and tap. Okay, now a few reflections on those subjects. So when I first came back, I felt like my ballet had decreased, my ballet had got worse over the summer. But I think it was just actually coming back after having quite a long break. It took me a while to get back into it, or like to get my ability back to the level it was from before the summer. But by like October half term time, I felt like I'd caught up and improved a little bit, so that was good. And then I feel like I have kept improving since then. In jazz, I can really notice an improvement from last year. Like when I think back to how I was at the start of first year and how I am now, like I can notice an improvement, and that's really nice to see. There's loads still to work on, but it's nice to see that I'm making progress. I'm really enjoying having more singing and acting through or acting with song classes. And something that I'm really pleased about this term is I feel like I'm starting to develop a safer like belt quality sound, which I'm really pleased about. Again, it still needs work, but it's coming, so that's good. In voice this term, we've been doing accent work, which I actually think is really important for us to have. I'm really glad we've had it. And yeah, that's definitely something I want to keep working on. Contemporary, I'm finding contemporary a little bit harder this year because it's less like technique exercises and more longer combinations. Like I was saying earlier, across lots of subjects that's been the case, but I'm just finding it a little bit harder this year. So it might also be because we only have one contemporary class a week now, and that's a change from first year. So that's something I still want to keep working on, because I'm finding it harder to remember all of the combinations and apply the technique. I feel like my technique's going out the window because I'm just trying to remember the combinations. So that's something I need to work on. Okay, my 2 option classes. So first of all, I'm going to talk about tap, which is my option class, but I also get it as a set class because I'm on MT pathway. We get 1 class a week for tap, and then I picked it as option, so I get 2 classes a week for that. The class that I'm in for MT tap, I don't know if you've watched my previous reflection videos, you might know this already, but I'm in the tap advanced class because for MT there's tap advanced and there's tap beginner, there's no intermediate. And I would probably ideally be in an intermediate class because I'm kind of in between, so I'm in the advanced class, but I'm probably near the bottom of the advanced class. So that's my tap class for my MT pathway. And then for tap option, it was tap intermediate was my option class. So I've had 2 intermediate classes and 1 advanced class a week. So last year I was really struggling with tap. I didn't feel like I was picking up the combinations very well at all, and so I felt like I was just kind of fluffing the feet all the time. This year I felt so much more confident in tap classes, and also like I'm more in control. I do really have to focus to not fluff the feet because I have a tendency to hear and remember the rhythms, but my feet will do any steps to get that same rhythm and not necessarily the steps that are set. So I have to really focus and concentrate to make my feet do the steps that they're supposed to be doing and not something else that just fits the rhythm. I'm still nowhere near a pro tapper, but I'm definitely feeling a lot more confident, and I feel like I'm improving at my tap. And it's nice to have the intermediate classes and the advanced class. The intermediate ones are kind of more at my level. Some bits in it are more challenging and some bits I find easier. But also having the tap advanced class then pushes me to keep working on doing things at a faster tempo and stuff as well. My other option was hip hop, which is still quite a new style for me. There's loads I need to work on with hip hop, but I feel like this term doing it, because I did it as an option in first year as well for 1 term, and I feel like this term I've been less self-conscious when I've been doing it, which is very helpful because if you're just trying to analyse every tiny thing you're doing in the mirror the whole time, it's very hard to get into the style, because I think last year I was sometimes looking at myself, I was like, that doesn't look right, and I get so analytical that it was hard to relax into the style, whereas this time I feel like I've been less self-conscious about it, and so I've been able to try and get into the hip-hop grooves more, but now I need to work on the details. So I've relaxed enough to be able to move, and now I need to focus my attention enough to be able to do the steps correctly, if that makes sense. With acting, we have a scene study class, which is acting and a song, so it's the scene into a song. That's what it's been for this term anyway. And then we also have the voice and text class, which I spoke about, and we have acting through song. I love acting, so that's been very fun, and it's been nice to work on some duets and stuff in scene study. Acting through song has introduced us to some different acting techniques and things, most of which I had heard of already, but it was nice to have the chance to apply these and think about how they might impact us through song as well. One of them was newer to me as well, and I did find that really helpful. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to some reflections about personal life. So on a personal note, I feel like I've been better at listening to my body. I haven't been always getting to sleep on time. If you've watched any of my videos about reflections, you'll know pretty much every time I say I need to get to bed on time. So I haven't always been doing that, but I have been better at allowing myself to sleep in more if I haven't gone to bed early enough the night before, where my timetable allows. If I have a late start, then allowing myself to sleep in if I feel like I need that sleep, if I haven't got enough the night before or the previous nights. And also I've actually got myself to bed earlier than my bedtime is, because I felt like I needed the extra sleep. So I feel like I've been better at listening to my body, but I do still need to work on going to bed on time. So something else that's been a bit newer for me this half term is I've been working a lot more. Like, I had my job last year, but I've just been doing more shifts this like term because of money, and I've actually kind of been enjoying having more shifts, although some of the late nights have been a bit tiring at times. Between like work and college project stuff and socialising on the weekend, I've definitely been a lot busier this term, I think, than last year, which is really exciting, and I've enjoyed being busier, I think. I've had less time to write notes down from lessons, or I've been less strict with myself about taking notes from lessons. Maybe that's a better description of that. But I feel like I've spent more time practicing, like practically practicing, like doing singing practice or rehearsing routines and stuff. I feel like I've done more of that and less writing down my corrections. I think it's been helpful to do more practical practicing, but I think I would also like to get better at getting the notes down in amongst the practice in the classes and all the socialising and work and everything else, like being able to fit that in, because I think it is something that will be helpful for me to have these notes jotted down. So I would like to get better at doing that. In terms of church, I haven't been to church as much as I would have liked to have done, but I have signed myself up for a Bible study group type thing, which is like through the church, but it's like a smaller group of people which meet on a weekday night. So I'm gonna hopefully start that from January, and I think that'll be quite nice to help me to get to know people in my church better, because there'll be a smaller group of us, so I'll be able to like get to know them a bit better, if that makes sense. Okay, and I think those are all the reflections that I have. In terms of goals for the next term, I think I'm gonna leave that for this video, because I am planning to make like a 2024 goals video, which obviously the next term that I will be back at LSC is in 2024. So I'm going to leave those goals for that video, which means that is everything that I think I wanted to say in today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have, I'd really appreciate you giving it a like to let me know what videos to make more of. And if you are currently studying at a drama school, or if you're currently studying at any school or training outside of school or anything like that, and you have any reflections from this term since September that you'd like to share in the comments, please do let me know, because I'd love to read them. I'm also thinking of doing a Q&A video at some point in the future, so if you have any questions for me that you'd like to be answered in the Q&A video, please do leave me a comment, or you can message me on my Instagram, which is @theperformingartsinme, if you'd rather do that instead. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed the video, and again, please subscribe if you haven't already, because I'd really like to reach 150 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!